Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Money, Real Business podcast. I'm Lauren, and today we have Marwan on the show, who's selling an Amazon FBA business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Hey Marwan, welcome to the show. How's your day been so far?
It's been great, and thank you so much for having me, Lauren. I appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. But before we dive in, I'm going to give the listeners a brief overview of your business so that they have a bit of background about what we're going to talk about. As I mentioned, this is an Amazon FBA business. It was created in December 2020, and it's in the apparel and accessories and children niches. The average revenue for the business is $74,982 per month, and it makes an average of $15,028 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are an Amazon Seller Central account with 8 SKUs, a Shopify account, supplier introductions, trademarks, an email list with roughly 500 subscribers, as well as Facebook and Instagram social media accounts. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to verified buyers. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 65979 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So with that out of the way, let's hear from you, Marwan. Can you fill us in on your background in starting and running online businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, my first online business started around 2018. I had a couple of drop shipping stores. So we used to use like Shopify and Google ads, Facebook ads to drive traffic to them. That was not very successful, I would say. Like it was quite okay, but it was not very successful. So I always wanted to look for other opportunities. So I also started a digital marketing agency in Shanghai, China. I was helping businesses sell their stuff through e-commerce platforms like Shopify. And I think that's it. That was the background before the Amazon business started.
That's awesome. Dropshipping is a great way to sort of dip your toe into e-commerce and see if it's for you. What made you decide to sort of graduate from dropshipping into Amazon FBA?
To be honest, I had a client that he wanted to do some marketing for his Shopify store and stuff, but he also sold on Amazon. And this is where the idea of starting like an Amazon business came from, because I saw his numbers and what is the potential of selling on Amazon and the opportunity. And it doesn't necessarily cost too much when it comes to resources or capital in the beginning. And at the same time, it doesn't require you to spend long hours managing the business because of the FBA thing. So you don't need to ship anything. So it sounded very appealing, the idea. And then I digged in and I did some research. I used some softwares like Jungle Scout, Helium 10 to kind of get the feel of the market. What can I do? And do some product research. And then, that was the start of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It certainly seems to have been a great decision for you. You've come a long way. When you were doing that product research, how did you decide on the specific niche that you wanted to operate in?
Just like you said, the product is in apparel, accessories, and in the children niche. And as a father, I have 2 kids on my own. One is a boy who's 8 years old, and a little girl who is 2 now, and almost 3. And for me, I kind of understood what parents need when it comes to products, when it comes to quality. And as a parent myself, I would love to create products for children. Yeah, this is why I think I chose this niche.
Yeah, selling a product that's sort of close to your heart and that you're passionate about certainly helps to elevate the business and take it to a whole new level.
Yeah, and also we also had the chance to test the products on our own kids. And from this kind of parent perspective, you want to make sure that the product quality is really good, because at the end of the day, your kids are going to use this product. So we always wanted to be kind of a high level when it comes to the product quality and reassurance that the quality is good and the product quality is good and it doesn't have anything that can hurt the kids. So this is something that was very important to us. And I think this is a big part of why we're successful on Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it definitely helps. You are your own target market. So you know the sort of things that are important to you when it comes to these products. So you can make sure that you check all those boxes. Do you only sell on Amazon FBA or have you branched out into any other sales channels?
So we do have a Shopify store, but we don't do any ads we don't drive traffic to it. We just have our Instagram account or Facebook accounts, and we just drive traffic from those organically to our Shopify store. So we get around 30, 40, maximum 50 orders per month on the Shopify store, but it's all organic traffic. We don't pay anything for ads. We don't do marketing for it. Recently, we started to collect emails for Amazon customers as well through like the insert cards and stuff like that and QR codes. So we kind of think, and the next period, we're going to include email marketing as well to drive traffic to Shopify. But basically, that's it. Like 99% of the revenue is coming from Amazon, and like 1% is coming from Shopify store.
Yeah, that's great. It's great that you're able to diversify. And I think that provides a good growth opportunity for a buyer to take advantage of as well. You've come a long way with the business. I believe you started it in 2020, if I'm correct, and it's grown really well over the last 3 years. So, what are the reasons you decided to sell the business now?
Right now, me and my family, we're based here in Egypt. This is where I'm originally from. But for the past 10 years, we've been living in China, and we're kind of looking for someone else that is not Egypt and is not China to go and live in. And we have our eyes in Europe. So we want to sell this business to get a lump sum then we can use to purchase a property in Europe and get a golden visa by investment. If that happens for us, then we're good to go to sell the business. If not, then we just keep it and grow it.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got some exciting times ahead of you. And at least that's the joy of an online business, is it gives you options when it comes to expanding your lifestyle, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and you get to choose where to live. You get the freedom of movement. Like one day we're in China and we said, oh, we don't like it here anymore because of the COVID restrictions and other stuff that was happening around us. And then we just said, okay, let's move to Egypt. And 1 month, we just moved everything from China to Egypt. You don't need to worry about, I have a physical office here or I do have a job that I need to resign from. And where can I find a new job? It's just the freedom to do it from anywhere.
Yeah, that flexibility is definitely a huge asset. As you say, brick and mortar entrepreneurs can't exactly pack up and move overnight and still retain their business. So it's a wonderful thing. Looking back over your journey with this business, I'm sure there have been some ups and downs and some highs and lows. What would you identify as a big success that you had with the business or a big win that you experienced?
I think the biggest one for us, there are two moments I felt very achieved. One of them was just 2 months after we launched this brand, we did close to $200,000 of revenue in 1 month. And that was just a couple of months of launching this brand. And it was the first time for me selling on Amazon. And to get this kind of success and this amount of revenue in 1 month, especially after you just started a couple of months ago, it was huge for us. And it showed us this is really something that I want to do even for the rest of my life. So even if I sold this business, in my mind, I'm always going to be on Amazon. I'm always going to look for other opportunities to sell physical products on Amazon. And the second one was actually not very long ago on December 29th. This is where we hit $1 million in total revenue in 2022. So from January 1st, 2022 till almost the end of 2022, we just hit this $1 million on Amazon mark, which makes us 7 figures Amazon business, which that was a great moment for us. Of course, we saw it coming, but it just happened 2 days before the end of the year, and it was quite exciting.
Yeah, it's great to reach milestones like that. As you say, it really sticks out in your mind and makes you feel like you really accomplished something. And to reach $200,000 in sales just a few months after you started, that really shows a need for your products in the market and a really good reception by your consumers, which is great. I'm sure there were some things that you'd rather forget that happened with the business. So were there any challenges or setbacks that you had to overcome?
Yeah, so one of the things that really was bad for us is we started selling on Amazon on February 2021. And then in August 2021, we received an email from Amazon that said your listings have been removed. That was 4 SKUs that was been removed due to patent infringement. like a report. And then we couldn't do anything about it. Like we tried contacting Amazon, telling them the patent is invalid. There's no infringement. The product is not like theirs, but it was what it was. And Amazon didn't do anything about it. So we made a small tweak to the product design, and then we applied for a patent ourselves to prevent this from happening in the future and to protect the business. And yeah, that was it. We started a new product and we launched a new product, and it went back to normal.
That must have been really scary. Were you unable to sell your product for quite a long period of time?
Yeah, so from August 2021 till the middle of December 2021, that was like a down period. And then we launched the products in December 2021, at the middle of December 2021, and then it was just smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, that must have been a real setback, but I'm glad you were able to overcome that and find a way around it. And as you say, you've now got that protection of that patent yourself, which is good. I know you touched on your traffic a little bit earlier, but let's dive into that a bit more. Are you using PPC or listing description SEO to drive traffic to your products?
Actually, we do both. When launching new products, we only use PPC to launch these new products to get the sales velocity and the sales, like for the first week or two, to get the sales velocity and the sales history. So Amazon bring you back up in the top 10 on the top of the first page. So obviously, when we start launch a new product, we spend aggressively and heavily on PPC. But then at the same time, this PPC will help us get sales for this specific keyword. And as long as this specific keyword like optimized well enough when it comes to the listing SEO and the listing keywords and everything, that gives us the boost to stay on top of the page. And then after we launch successfully, we bring the spending on PPC down, and then we still get a lot of organic sales. So we do both. Now we get around 70% of our sales organically and 30% from PPC.
Yeah, I think that's great that you're able to use those two traffic sources hand in hand and sort of leverage them against each other to make sure that you stay top of those search results. Are you handling the PPC campaigns yourself, or do you have an agency that does that for you?
Yes, I do manage all of these myself. And actually, I come from a digital marketing background. I used to digital marketing manager in a very well-known insurance company in China. So I come from a digital marketing background. I know my way around Google Ads. I've been managing Google Ads, Facebook ads for around 12 years now. And yeah, and I do have my own digital marketing agency also in China as another business. Of course, I do manage the PPC on Amazon myself and all the other marketing activities that we do.
Yeah, it's great to be able to have those skills yourself and not have to outsource that. And I think, it definitely gives you an advantage because you're able to come up with these strategies and know how to leverage various traffic sources. I see you've got a couple of social media channels as well. Does that drive any significant traffic to your listings?
Actually, we do not direct any traffic from social media to our Amazon listing. We direct these to our Shopify store. And this is how we get the organic sales from the Shopify store as well. But currently, we're not advertising anywhere or doing any kind of marketing outside of Amazon for the Amazon listing.
Sure, yeah. And that makes a lot of sense to use those external sources to drive it to Shopify and then use Amazon itself to promote the Amazon listings. What would you see as the major opportunities for growth with this business that buyers can take advantage of?
We have a couple of designs already finalized and ready for patent applications for new products in the same niche. And there's a lot of room, I think, in this same niche for more product and more revenue, like even tripling or quadrupling the revenue just by launching new products in the same niche. And we position ourselves in the market as the top quality, but also we're the best seller. So you're going to find our product is the most expensive one, but also the best seller. And that kind of position gives you an opportunity to launch more products and take advantage of that trust that people have in the brand. So I think this is a huge opportunity. And if we're not going to be selling the business, this is exactly what we're going to do. Launching a couple of more products in the same niche, trying to get more real estate in the niche, try to get more revenue from the same exact niche.
Yeah, I think it's a very unique advantage for buyers to really take advantage of the fact that you have such a strong foothold in the niche and you are such a strong authority. There's not a lot of businesses that can say that. So definitely a big advantage there. Can you walk me through what your supply chain looks like? How many suppliers do you use? Where are they based? And how does inventory get from the suppliers to Amazon and also to Shopify?
When it comes to factories and suppliers, we do use one supplier at the moment, and this supplier is a trading company. So this is the people that I have personal relationship with. I visited them, I think, around 20, 25 times in the past 3 years. I spent time with them. I have food with them because I used to live in China and I used to do the inspection myself because it was just an hour and a half train ride from Shanghai to the factory. And yeah, so this trading company, they get everything together. They have multiple factories that manufacture the product itself, multiple factories that manufacture the package and the accessories that come with the product. And yeah, they put everything together and then we do the inspection, sometimes in person, sometimes over video call. And yeah, that is how it is right now. So the suppliers, the factories are all in China. And then after that, we ship our products by sea to the US. Most probably we send it directly to Amazon warehouses because most of the time we do have a lot of storage space that we can use in Amazon. 90% of the time we ship directly from the supplier to Amazon warehouses.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's great that you're able to have that personal relationship with your suppliers, having been so close to them. How long does it normally take you to replenish your inventory, say from the day you order new inventory to the day it arrives at Amazon?
The manufacturing process takes around 30 days to 40 days. And then on top of that, you put the shipping. We ship by Metson line. They give us a guarantee of 21 days door to door. So 21 days from the day they pick the goods till it arrives at Amazon warehouses, all in all. And they're very cheap. Like they're really, really cheap. Obviously, there are cheaper options if you ship by sea, but the ones that it takes 2 months and stuff like that. But we use Metson line, which is very quick and very efficient, never late. And then they pay us back money if the product's delayed more than the 21-day threshold. So it comes with a guarantee as well. So all in all, if you put the maximum of 40 days for the products to be manufactured and then 21 days for it to arrive, so you can say 60 days.
Yeah, that's certainly a very efficient supply chain compared to a lot of other FBA businesses. When it comes to your storage at Amazon, do you know what your current inventory limits are? And have you had any restrictions with that in the past couple of months?
In the past couple of months, no. We had restrictions when we were launching new products because Amazon always look at your sales history and how many units are you selling a month, and then they decide how many units they allow you to have. So now our current limit is 21,000 units for the products in our niche. And currently we're using around 16,000 of that. So we don't have any problems when it comes to inventory limits. And last year, during the summer season, we had a limit of 110,000 units. So it was a lot more than we would ship in.
Yeah, that's great because that gives you sort of room to grow and room to store extra supplies during the busy season as well. Let's take a look at what a typical work week looks like for you as the owner of this business. How many hours are you spending on the business and what sort of work is taking up your time?
It depends. Like maybe a few days will pass and I wouldn't even fire my laptop. Maybe one day I'll work for a couple of hours. I think on average it takes 5, 6 hours a week. So that takes us to like maximum 20 hours every month that I spend on this business. This includes creating social media content and scheduling the social media posts and optimize the PPC a little bit to make sure the ROI is high enough, the ACOS is low. And it's just a normal maintenance, like create lightning deals, create weekly deals sometimes. So I think if you're going to hire someone to do the social media work for you, then it's going to take 2 hours a week of work. If social media is included and everything else is included, I think it would take 5, 6 hours a week.
Yeah, I mean, even the 5, 6 hours a week is pretty passive for a business this size. Do you have any employees or freelancers who are helping you get any work done?
No, I do everything on my own.
Yeah, in that case, I mean, 5 to 6 hours as the total work for the business, I think is incredible for a business this size. With that in mind, what do you think is the biggest challenge that a buyer might experience when they take over the business?
To be honest, I cannot think of any challenges when it comes to taking over this business because a lot of people struggle with the supply chain, and this is something that we already have in place for more than a couple of years now, and it's been very stable. People are very good to us. We have personal relationships with them. My wife's Chinese. I speak fluent Chinese. So we do not have any problems dealing with freight forwarders the factory people, anything like that. And during the handover period, if the business gets sold, the buyer would inherently have all these relationships and all this kind of supply chain laid out for them. And that is the biggest challenge when it comes to doing FBA business. And to be honest, I cannot think of anything that would be challenging for a buyer. The business is very stable right now. Basically, you don't have to do anything. We're already on top of the niche, number one bestseller in the niche. You just take the business, make sure you have enough inventory, and you're going to make money.
Yeah, I think it's a great position to be in. If you struggle to find a challenge, then that's a wonderful place to find yourself. If the buyer does encounter any difficulties, how much support are you willing to offer them just to help them ease into the business and help with that transition?
We're absolutely going to provide full support, especially when it comes to the supply chain and the handover of the business, letting them know the strategies that we already have in place to increase the revenue. Because obviously, when we sell this business, we're not going to compete in the same niche against the new buyer. So they're very welcome to have all the designs that we have for the new product lines. And yeah, I think when it comes to the running of the business, the operational side of the business, or the supply chain, we're going to provide full support.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think buyers will be very grateful for that. And when it comes time to negotiating with buyers about the actual sale, would you be open to something like an earnout agreement?
To be honest, I wouldn't be interested in an earnout agreement because, as I said, one of the reasons, the most important reason for us to sell this business is to be able to go ahead and purchase a property in Europe and move there in the next couple of years, maybe next year. We need this lump sum amount to go and purchase a property, and anything that will be like an earnout, it's better for us to just keep the business for us anyway, because if we're not going to be able to purchase property, there's no reason for us to sell the business right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. And would you be open to committing to a non-compete agreement?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as it doesn't say that you cannot sell on Amazon, period, or you cannot sell any product for children, for example. If it says specifically in this niche you cannot compete directly with the product or indirectly with the product, then absolutely we're open to sign a non-compete.
Fantastic. Well, Marwan, you've certainly experienced a lot of success with this business, and it was your first Amazon FBA business. So if there is any entrepreneurs out there who are wanting to start an FBA business of their own, what advice would you give to them that you wish you knew when you first started your business?
Actually, when I started this business, there was nothing that I didn't know about the business because I think a lot. Like some days I just cannot sleep and I keep thinking about stuff and think about all the possibilities, all the risks, everything. So I did very heavy research before I started this business. But one thing that I didn't really account for is the amount of pressure of launching new business. How much pressure would that be of launching new business and the number of stuff that you need to take into consideration before launching the product. But then after that passed, which was a couple of months before launch and a couple of months after launch, once that have passed, and it did in our case, it's just smooth sailing from there. So I just say, just give importance to the time before you launch the product and the time during launching the product, and then everything else is going to be a lot easier. So if you just pass this kind of mountain in the beginning, it's really, really easy sailing from there.
Yeah, I think that's important advice that a lot of entrepreneurs overlook. You know, if you put in the hard work up front and you'll reap the rewards later on. But yeah, you just got to persevere through those difficult initial period.
Yeah, like a lot of people hear about this Amazon business thing and how passive it is. And maybe they will hear this interview and say, oh, this guy work only 5 hours a week and make this amount of money a month. So this is a really passive business. This is really easy model that we can make. But actually, it is easy after you pass this first period. And this first period is really stressful, and you need to put so many things in consideration and take care of so many little details. But if you get it right, or if you're going to buy a business that is already established, then it's just so easy. And it is really passive income and it is really easy. But if you have to go through all the beginnings, all this mountain that I mentioned in the beginning, then it might be challenging and not for everyone, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that you touched on there. Buying an established business, it will allow the buyer to skip that initial difficulty of launching those products and getting the business up and
100%.
running. Well, that actually leads into my next question quite well. If you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
There are a couple of stuff that I think like differentiate our business from any other business is that we position ourselves in the market as the premium quality product, the premium brand, and at the same time, we're the best seller in the niche. It's so hard to find this combination, like to find someone, most of the niches, the best sellers will be the cheapest ones. But if you have a business that is positioned to be a premium brand and your products are the most expensive products in the niche, and at the same time, they're selling the highest number, that is something very unique and something that makes this business very appealing. Yeah, I think that is one of the most important things about why would someone want to buy this brand. It's just authority that comes with it, the position in the market that comes with it. So you will not be like, you wouldn't have to go against other sellers and do the price with them and try to make some discount because other people are making discounts. In this business, we don't do that. We position ourselves, okay, this is the most expensive product. And because it's for children, parents tend to buy products for their children that are higher quality than what they will buy for themselves. So, for example, as a parent, if I want to buy, for example, anything, a headset, if I want to buy a headset for myself, I'm just going to go buy a random one. I know it's not going to hurt me. But if I want to buy the same thing for my kid, I want to buy a higher quality one. I want to buy a good material one. I think this is a very specific advantage to this specific niche and to this specific product.
Yeah, absolutely. I think operating in a niche that really touches on the emotions of your target audience is very special. And to find a business that's already climbed that ladder and has a secure foothold as an authority in the niche, it definitely is a golden opportunity for buyers. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the business that I might have missed?
Actually, any more details than that, I'm going to reveal the identity of the business. So let's just let that.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Marwan, for coming onto the show and giving us a little bit more insight into you and your business. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you, Lauren.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 65979. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.